Dr. Will here from Miami Spine and Performance. We're here with part 2 of In the Gym with Dr. Will. So today we're going to talk about shoulders. I know a lot of you guys and gals have shoulder issues. You're having pain with bench pressing, pain with overhead pressing, pain with pull-ups. So today I'm going to show you guys some unique ways that you can train the shoulders, still build a lot of muscle size and strength without putting so much stress on the actual joint itself. So one of the things that we like to do is look at different pressing variations, right? Typically we've done overhead press with a barbell or bench press, but sometimes those exercises can be very, very challenging, right? So what I like to do is I like to incorporate single arm pressing variations, particularly overhead, because that way we're challenging the small stabilizing muscles of the shoulder, and we're also incorporating the core and things like that. So today we're going to go through a single arm Arnold press, okay? So I'm going to be in a split stance like this. I'm going to start with my palm facing me, and I'm going to press straight up so that my palm is facing the wall, just like so. Okay? To me, this is a very safe and reliable shoulder exercise when it comes to overhead pressing. Because of the natural torque of the shoulder, because we're incorporating rotation, we're not putting the same amount of stress on the shoulder as when we just jam it this way and we stress the external rotators. When we rotate the shoulder and produce torque like that, we're following the natural trajectory of the joint, so we're much less likely to injure ourselves doing it this way. Just make sure at the top you're locking out nice and strong, stabilizing through the shoulder, and then coming down slow. The second exercise that we're going to go through is going to be on the bench here. And I often find in both clients and patients that work out regularly that often they're neglecting the posterior deltoids, right? Everybody knows about front delts, pressing, side delts, but really we should be spending a lot of time on our upper back and our rear deltoids. So, and we're going to go through some rear delt flies. And I'm going to show you guys how to do these properly, because oftentimes they're done in a way that we end up using the muscles of our upper back, like the rhomboids, instead of our shoulders. So I'm going to lie face down here, my arms dangling, and as I bring my arms apart, I'm actually not going to squeeze my shoulder blades like people typically teach, right? Typically this exercise is taught, squeeze your shoulder blades really hard, come back, squeeze your shoulder blades and come back. But what we actually want to do is we want to leave our shoulder blades apart and spread our arms away, right? That way we can really target that posterior deltoid as we come back and around. Hold here, and you should be feeling the back of the shoulder, not the upper back, just like this. And these are very small muscles, and it also puts the shoulder into a bit of a vulnerable position. So you don't want to be using really heavy weights and bending your elbows. For most guys, most gals, we're talking 5 to maybe 15 pounds max. Somewhere between 12 and 20 repetitions. This is not a 6 rep max type of exercise. You're really going to put some major stress on the shoulder. The next exercise to me is probably the king of shoulder exercises, but also one that's often neglected, which is the face pull. Okay? So the face pull is going to work not only the deltoid, but it's going to work the muscles of the rotator cuff. So I'm going to grab the rope like so. I'm going to pull the rope to my forehead and squeeze my shoulder blades. So this exercise is different from the delt exercise in that we do want to train lower and mid traps and make sure that we go through a full range of motion. Okay? So I'm not pulling the rope to my chest, I'm not swinging my body, I'm pulling with the full range of motion, pinching my shoulders together, and slowly releasing. Pulling and pinching, slowly releasing, just like so. Okay? And this is a great exercise you can use as a warm-up, you can use it as a superset, or you can use it as a way to kind of burn out your shoulders at the end. But just make sure that you're going nice and slow. Again, just like the rear delt raise, this is not an exercise that we want to be doing heavy, 6 to 8 rep maxes. We really want to be in that 12, 15, 20 range and really focus on the contraction. The last exercise I'm going to show you guys is another way to kind of perform the front and lateral raise, which is by taking the shoulder through an actual full range of motion. Now, this exercise, again, is one that you want to be using very, very lightweight, okay? So we're going to start with this is a regular lateral raise that people are familiar with. But for this exercise, we're going to do a lateral raise and we're going to touch the dumbbells together at the top with our elbows straight. Just like so. Go to the side, touch them over here. To the side, touch over here. Okay? So it's a great way to build some good mobility in the shoulder, but if you're somebody that's currently dealing with shoulder impingement or a rotator cuff issue, it can be aggravating. So you want to make sure that your shoulders are nice and warmed up, but once they are, this is an awesome way to kind of work all the different heads of the shoulder in one exercise, right? Again, we're talking 5 pounds, maybe 10 for some of you bigger guys and gals. But when it comes to the shoulder training, we really want to focus on higher repetitions, right? Let your pressing movements and your rowing movements be the upper body movements that you build a lot of mass and a lot of strength in. And then let these small muscle groups be trained with light weights, perfect technique, and high repetitions. So those are some shoulder exercises for you guys to try if you're dealing with shoulder issues or you need some new variations. These are ones that I prescribe to my clients very frequently. Thank you guys for watching. Next week, we're going to be doing In the Gym with Dr. Will, and we're going to talk about training the core. So keep an eye out for that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.